الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سار سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So tonight inshallah ta'ala we'll be still continue our lesson, but we somewhat shift away from what we'll normally do, which is doing the explanation or discussion of the book Mukhtasar Sahih Bukhari. So we'll move away, shift away from that tonight. And normally I think at this time of the year we usually do something a bit different, seeing that in the next week or coming week that we'll be expecting some of the mashaykh to be passing through and doing different type of teaching through different masajid. So at this point, inshallah ta'ala, would be the last lesson until after the next couple of weeks. So inshallah ta'ala, after today, we're just going to somewhat shift from the normal lesson, and we'll try to maybe do two things, if possible, or three. That first, collect the homework that is due. So that's the first thing, the homework to be collected. And then the next thing we'll discuss. We discussed concerning of the other matter that we discussed concerning certain matters regarding adab wa talib al-ilm. So as we had mentioned before, that for talib al-ilm, that at least once a year one should go over a material, meaning concerning a book that discuss matters regarding adab wa talib al-ilm. So that as the mashaykh will be coming through the country in the next week or so, then we just take this opportunity to discuss some of those matters relating to the adab of the talib al-ilm. First, a reminder to ourselves, and also to kind of somewhat to share with others of the things that are expected regarding the talib al-ilm as his behavior and his conduct. And also we can use as a scale concerning to measure others regarding what are required and what should be the expectation from the talib al-ilm. So after other matter, we think if we have time, I think we have discussed it before regarding, as we also then during this time of the year, of the end of the year, we have this break or celebrations that take place. So of those things that sometimes are of those things that is noted to be reviewed is matter regarding the level or the permissibility of participating in some of these celebration, and also the giving of gifts and greetings. What is the Islamic ruling on those things? So if we have time, we may go through some of those things, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So back to the first and to the second. So the first we said is the homework that was due from last week. So? You remember what was the homework? So what was the homework? We recall? Yeah? Hey, so 7 books of tafsir. 7 books of tafsir. So we had gone through regarding concern. So we have mentioned before for Al-Kutubu Sitta and also Al-Mu'taba of Imam Malik rahimahullah, at least two explanations. So we are familiar with the books and the efforts of the ulama regarding explaining those books of the Sunnah. So Kutubu Sitta, what are the explanations that are there that are reliable and credible, and also the book of Al-Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah. So it's us knowing what are the sources or reference sources that we can go back to in getting a greater and a more detailed understanding of the books of the Sunnah. So we had went through that before, somewhat. So then we said that 7 books of tafsir, 7. Okay, who have the homework? Do you have any? No, I said about in the homework, any class, each student look for himself. So did you do the homework? So, okay, so you have some. So you did your homework. Okay, inshallah, khair. We get to something as a gift. Aywa, so 1. Tafsir al-Tabari, 1. Tafsir al-Sa'di. So from old and contemporary. So Tabari being old and more classical. Tafsir al-Sa'di, more recent. Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Aywa, 3. Qadir. So Shawkani, Fathul Qadir, Shawkani. Muqaddimah Tafsir As-Sindi. Okay, we'll come back to that one. That's 5. Tafsir al-Baghawi. Ma'alim al-Tanzil. Repeat that one. That's on the Tafsir Sahih Bukhari. Okay. Okay, that one to be reviewed. So either that one is the person kind of somewhat just went to Sahih Bukhari and its chapter, or that chapter relating to our kitab of tafsir, they explained it. Maybe that's A. So you have 7, somewhat. Aywa. So 7. Or you're adding, or you're starting, you're giving your own 7. You're adding to his list. So you must say, okay, so you're adding to his list, or you're coming with your own list. Which one?
I'm adding to his list.
You're adding to, okay. We want someone who can come with their own fresh list. Their own 7. You have your? So you're adding. So you're not coming with your own separate 7. Anyone else? So you mentioned Tabari, Sadi, Ibn Kathir, Fath al-Qadir, Shawkani. Aywa. So you have At-Tabari of the older books of tafsir. Nam. So that's one of the primary books of tafsir, At-Tabari. Nam. So you have Aqwal al-Salaf of Riwayah, and also Diraya, where also he gives his own explanation or give his comment on certain things, and also he mentioned the khilaf between the ulama and give his own tarjih. So it's an important book in tafsir, important book in tafsir. Then Sadi, more contemporary, kind of someone explain the Quran in jumla, the general meaning. Then we have Ibn Kathir, very important one that is studied in most places now. Then you mention also Al-Fath al-Qadir al-Shawkani. So the ulama of Yemen, Shawkani, that Shawkani rahimahullah, he has books in different science. Nam of it. So you have books in hadith, books in tafsir, books in usul al-fiqh, books in fiqh. So of those you have a tafsir, which is Fath al-Qadir, which some mention that is Fath al-Qadir is like a mukhtasar of Al-Qurtubi. Nam. So Fath al-Qadir by Shawkani is like a mukhtasar of Al-Qurtubi. Like a mukhtasar, it's like a mukhtasar. So Qurtubi is a large one. So I kind of somewhat condensed it. Aywa. Which other ones you mentioned? You mentioned about Sindi. I'm not familiar with Sindi. That one. So it's a Muqaddimah. Not familiar. I mentioned Tabari first. Tabari. Jalalain. Tafsir Jalalain. Sabuni. Okay, okay. So Tafsir Jalalain. Tafsir Jalalain is also one of the one I said. So you have Jalalain al-Mahalli wa Jalalain al-Suyuti. So both of them kind of somewhat. So both of them they equivalent to the Jalalain. Both have that like title that is used. Jalalain. So al-Suyuti wal Muhalli both did like half. Nam of that tafsir. Very muqtasar. Even though I say it as muqtasar, that's people to start with, but a tafsir that is not for beginners in reality. So even I say it's for beginners, but in reality is not for beginners. So even of recent, the past couple of years, you find that you have these explanation of that Jalalain, and a few of them, of recent, you have some more better prints of those that are being published. So better prints. The prints before a bit not that clear, need some work. So you have a few people now doing some work on them. But also Suyuti, Jalalain, you have a lot of ta'wil of sifat. We can find that some of the books of tafsir is something which is common amongst the books of tafsir, that you find some of the renowned ones that of latter times that they do ta'wilat of the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They fall into this. Aywa. So you mentioned Sabuni. So Sabuni is like contemporary. So you have Sabuni of old and you have Sabuni of contemporary. So he was his original Syrian. I think he was living in Turkey and died in the last couple of years. So he has like his own tafsir. Is very popular. His tafsir is very popular. I forgot the name that is referred to.
You recommend it
So that yes, some of the ulama have mentioned that of his, they kind of somewhat so he has his in his tafsir Sabuni. I've got the name of it. That so you have a Muqtasir of Ibn Kathir, and also he has his own tafsir. That was said is not very widespread amongst many, but he also their main critique is or criticize that also you have some form of ta'wilat of sifat. There's some ta'wilat of sifat. Also, you have a next one. Is you have several books in tafsir. Also, you have like a work which is Ayat al-Ahkam. Ayat al-Ahkam. So also he has a work in that where it is discussed some of the ayat that discuss ahkam. So that also is there. So those are some of the works of tafsir. Some of the works of tafsir that I mentioned. Okay, so that's concerning that matter. And we might come back to that later. So you have like books in tafsir, those who you have different, they said that manahij. So the books of tafsir have different manahij of different method or approach that the mufassir may follow in his tafsir. So some of the books of tafsir that they give, we said they give more emphasis on using the language, the richness of the language. And some books, you have those who kind of sum up more the linguistic aspect of the language that is more used. You have some, their books in tafsir like a book in i'rab. So they give like i'rab of the Quran. Then you have some regarding balagha. They place a lot of emphasis regarding balagha in their tafsir. Then you have a next set of tafsir where it is concerning tafsir al-ma'thur, where those books that they try to mention aqwal of the salaf and the Prophet ﷺ regarding tafsir. So the tafsir is primarily centered and mentioning things of the Prophet ﷺ regarding ayat that you have explained, and also from the Sahaba wa tabi'in and atba' tabi'in. So you have that 20. And Ibn Kathir is like try to be like tafsir of the salaf and also